And 2021 is a very pimpin' ass year. 2021, the max is out. The max are out in 2021. The max are out. Okay. I just made $1,800. So I'm feeling good. Trying to make another 20,000. It's gonna take me a little bit longer than the 1,800 did. But with that, I want to talk about Paul Pierce, the sports analyst who got fired from ESPN. My bad. Let me not disrespect Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce, the Hall of Famer. Paul Pierce, the NBA champion. Paul Pierce, one of the best scorers in Celtics history. You see what I'm saying? And also a sports analyst gets fired from ESPN because he was seen playing poker with his associates, and he was also smoking marijuanas. Okay, he was smoking the trees. He was smoking that gas, the Zaza. He was smoking that good shit. He was firing it up. You see what I'm saying? And he also had them strippers in the background. Them they looked like the mixed breed strippers. They was black and white and Hispanic, black and Hispanic. And he had them throwing that ass and giving him massages while he's playing poker. And ESPN fires him for a conduct detrimental. Now, I want to say one thing in ESPN's defense, and this came out yesterday. That's why I waited to make sure I got all of the facts before I decided to do my Pimp Talk episode. ESPN came out and stated Paul Pierce would not have been fired had someone else recorded that video of him and he had no knowledge of it. I repeat, he was fired because he recorded the video and posted it. ESPN is not upset about what he does in his personal life. So let's please give ESPN that much respect. They did not fire him because of what he was doing. They fired him because what he was advertising. Now, it's a lot of people. I done seen a lot of memes and I done seen a lot of videos of people being like, okay, so Paul Pierce isn't accepted, but Dwayne Wade's wife is accepted. Then people would be like, okay, Paul Pierce isn't accepted, but Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B on the Grammys is accepted. Well, first off, let's start with Dwayne Wade's son doesn't work for anybody. So Dwayne Wade's son, this is the worst part to me. Dwayne Wade's son or daughter, whatever the fuck nigga wants to identify as. I don't, on Pimp Talk, I don't give a fuck about your identifications on Pimp Talk. Okay. Whatever I see you as, that's what you are. What I see is what you look like. Okay. So if you dress and look like a woman and I see a woman, but I knew you as a nigga before, you might still get called a nigga. I'm sorry. You'll be all right. But Dwayne Wade's son or whatever is just living their life. Like, with no, that don't got nothing to do with us, okay? If other people choose to advertise that don't got nothing to do with Dwayne Wade's son. Dwayne Wade's son is just living, is just existing, and people are making him a pariah for no reason. It's not like the nigga spoke out and was saying all types of different shit that we don't want to hear, or the nigga was saying some shit that was offensive. No, the nigga just changed who he was or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So, and that nigga living his life. So that don't got nothing to do with that. Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B. It's a lot of niggas complaining about the Megan Thee Stallion Cardi B shit. Do y'all not want bitches to throw ass on TV? Like, do y'all not want that? Do y'all not want bitches throwing ass on TV? Because if that's the case, there's a lot of places where bitches is throwing ass on primetime TV. A lot of places. Not just Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B. So are we upset that Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B was throwing ass? Or are we upset that they was throwing ass on primetime TV? Because there's a lot of ass throwing on primetime TV that we need to take off of TV. So do we want women to stop throwing ass on TV? As men and as women. If we want to start to censoring America, that's one thing. If y'all want to censor America, then we got to censor everything. We can't just censor what we want to censor, then uncensor what we don't want to censor. Okay, so again, Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B got paid to go up there and throw ass. They got paid to do that. Paul Pierce is paid to be a ESPN sports analyst. ESPN has a code of conduct. ESPN has a contract that he signed. And it has rules in it. And if he breaks those rules, he gets fired. You see what I'm saying? Who is this? Troy Smith. ESPN has a deal with Disney. You can't be partying like a rock star if you linked up with Disney. And again, it has everything to do with him personally recording himself. Disney has came out and said he would not have been fired had someone else recorded the video. I repeat, he would not have been fired had someone else recorded the video. You can't be advertising drugs and strippers on ESPN Disney. You're a part of ESPN, no matter where you go, Paul Pierce. When they see Paul Pierce, they see Paul Pierce, the Hall of Famer, the ESPN analyst. When you see me, you don't just see Anthony Martin. You see Anthony Martin, a.k.a. Younggodatm, the battle rapper, a.k.a. Pimp Talk, the podcast. So if y'all went somewhere and y'all saw me and it was a bitch knocking me upside my head and taking money out my pocket, it don't matter that I'm Anthony Martin right now. Nigga, Young Guy the Pimp. This ain't supposed to be happening to a pimp, is it not? That's not supposed to be happening to a player, is it not? So with that, I am Young Guy the Pimp wherever I go. I am Young Guy ATM wherever I go. I am Pimp Talk the podcast. I am battle rap wherever I go. Just like Paul Pierce is a Hall of Fame basketball player wherever he goes. He is a Celtics legend wherever he goes. And now he works for ESPN. So he is a member of ESPN wherever he goes. Even outside of work. What's good with it? You see what I'm saying? GNC shit. What's good with it? My nigga Jay Breed. Y'all go look at my nigga Jay Breed. RBE. Go cop the VOD right now. Jay Breed versus Delvo. Delvo's one of my friends. Jay Breed is a member of my motherfucking clique. Shout out to Jay Breed. Great job on that victory, man. Rare Breed ENT. If you love battle rap, go click on that right now. Jay Breed versus Delvo. GNC shit. You know what the fuck we do. Back to regularly scheduled programming. You see what I'm saying? Paul Pierce should look, hey. I just want to say it's a lot of pimp shit going on in 2021. Because immediately after he gets fired, he shoots a video with some strippers and some weed. And it's like, oh, damn, I'm fired? Hey, sweetheart. They fired me from ESPN. Oh, they fired me. Yeah, keep throwing that ass, bitch. That's what I'm talking about, Paul Pierce. That's what I'm talking about, Paul Pierce. I like that. I like that. Just, hey, don't let them knock you off your pivot. Don't let ESPN knock you off your pivot. If pimping is where you at right now, if macking these hoes, you see what I'm saying, is where you at, you like the bitches, you a motherfucking NBA legend. Even though it took a super team, you beat Kobe Bryant and LeBron James in the same playoffs and won a championship. You can have as many strippers as you want. I don't care how many future Hall of Famers was on that team, okay? Even though it was 4 future Hall of Famers on that team when y'all beat Kobe Bryant and y'all beat LeBron James, y'all beat Kobe Bryant and LeBron James in the same playoffs. You can have as many strippers as you want, Paul Pierce. I don't care, okay? You hit some of the most clutch shots in the NBA when you was playing. You was one of the most prolific scorers in the NBA when you was playing. You played for one of the most haloed franchises in the NBA, the Boston Celtics, and brought them back to prominence after they had died out. So you, my nigga, you can do what you want, Paul Pierce. You just can't do what you want and work for ESPN. Like, nobody is upset at Paul Pierce. Nobody's mad at Paul Pierce. Nobody's like Paul Pierce was doing something wrong. He's in Los Angeles. Weed is legal. He wasn't doing anything illegal. You see what I'm saying? Nobody's upset. Nobody's upset. Okay? You see what I'm saying? He just got fired. Nobody's mad. Nobody's like, Paul Pierce needs to be canceled. So I don't want to hear motherfuckers keep comparing shit to other shit. Paul Pierce didn't get canceled. He got fired from his job. He's Paul Pierce. He can get another job today. Like, okay, he got fired from ESPN. He can go to FS1 today. He got fired from ESPN. He can go to CBS today. He's Paul Pierce. He doesn't give a fuck. He got to be on ESPN and talk some of it. He had some of the worst takes in fucking sportscasting history. This was one of the worst basketball analysts ever. Period. I hated Paul Pierce on TV. Hated that nigga on TV. I don't give a fuck that he got fucking fired. He doesn't give a fuck that he got fucking fired. You shouldn't give a fuck that he got fucking fired. Cause what? It's Paul Pierce. It'd be different if fucking Nick Wright got fired. For those who do watch sports that's watching this, okay. Nick Wright is just a sports analyst. And he's really connected to FS1. So it might be a little bit hard. I mean, he's really dope now, and he done put in some years now. And Nick Wright's probably my favorite analyst. So now I know for sure. But like, Nick Wright can't just get a job and lose that bitch for smoking weed and shit. Paul Pierce don't give a fuck. Paul Pierce don't give a fuck. Because put it like this. They could fire Paul Pierce from ESPN. I bet you he's going to be on ESPN as soon as they start showing highlights. Because fucking Paul Pierce is a legend. Paul Pierce is one of the greatest motherfucking Celtic players ever. Top 5. He's a top 5 Celtic. He's a top 5 Celtic for sure. He's a legend in the NBA. He'll be able to get a job wherever. Like, it doesn't matter. Stop being mad at ESPN for doing their fucking job. He's supposed to get fired for that. Okay? If you come on Pimp Talk and work for me, and you aren't around strippers and drugs, you're getting fired. It's in your contract. Okay? If you work for Pimp Talk, it's drugs and strippers involved. Okay? So you gotta be prepared for drugs and strippers on Pimp Talk. And if you're not prepared for drugs and strippers on Pimp Talk, you're getting fired. Whereas ESPN is the opposite. Hey, we don't want drugs and strippers. Can you please not drugs and strippers me? He didn't get fired for doing drugs and having strippers. No, he got fired for recording drugs and strippers. And those wasn't, stop saying strippers, okay? Those was hoes, okay? Those was hoes, okay? Those was not strippers. Stop saying that. Strippers get paid a large amount of money, okay? And they do good work. Those was hoes that Paul Pierce found because he's Paul fucking Pierce. You think Paul Pierce gotta pay for fucking strippers? No! He's Paul motherfucking Pierce. It's just hoes everywhere. It better be, goddammit, I done won fucking championships. If I done won NBA championships, goddammit, everywhere I motherfucking go, it better be hoes. It better be. Why not? What the fuck did I shoot all these motherfucking baskets for? What the fuck did I make all these goddamn free throws for? Do you know how hard it is to guard fucking LeBron James? Goddammit, he's 6'9". I better have strippers. Getting dunked on and shit. Paul Pierce, they got crossed over, dunked on. He done had to catch charges and shit. running all goddamn day. I better have strippers, goddamn it. I have hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't give a fuck about ESPN. I worked at ESPN because it was cool. Do you think he really worked at ESPN because he needed that goddamn job? No, everybody works at ESPN. If you done won something in your sport, you could go work for ESPN. They just give money out to people that haven't played sports. So stop tripping on me. He's fine. But he was supposed to get fucking fired, goddammit. You think you finna see Stephen A. Smith with drugs and strippers? Of course. But you're not finna see him recording himself doing it. I would imagine Stephen A. Smith indulges in drugs and strippers. You know who I definitely know for an absolute fact of life indulges in drugs and strippers? Shannon Sharp. The single nigga who be bringing weed and Snoop Dogg and shit and Ice Cube and shit on Undisputed. You don't think that when he go home that those blacks don't turn into blunts? And that Henny stay Henny and he get fucked up and hang out with his friends and shit? But he ain't finna Rick. Come on, you guys. It's the recording it part for me. That's the part that was the bothering part. Like, why would you do that to yourself? Unless he didn't give a fuck. And that's fine to not give a fuck. You're Paul Pierce. This nigga get fired, fuck it. He like, I bet. Skip Bayless be fucked up on some of these episodes. You could tell. Any episode where he knows Shannon Sharp finna get on his ass, he get fucked up, and you could tell because he be slurring his words, and he be apologizing, and you know when Skip done got drunk before an episode, it's my turn, banging on the table, my turn to speak, stop interrupting me, I be like, oh yeah, this gonna be one of them episodes, they fucked up today, I love it. Shannon Sharp will let you know. He'll bring the Henny on the thing, bow, on there. But it's going to be closed bottles of Henny, closed pre-rolled blunts, closed packets of gummies, that's weed gummies, and he'll bring them on camera. But they're closed, and they're packaged in a way where it's not detrimental to FS1. I ain't gonna lie, though. Pimp Talk is just 2021 got the pimps in it. Lil Uzi Vert got them city girls on the back foot. Derek Jackson been lying to bitches for 5-6 years. Paul Pierce got strippers everywhere. I'm loving it. Pimp Talk. Pimp Talk 2021. What else is left? Do we think if that he was a different anchor, it'd be different? No. He'd get fired regardless. Anybody would have gotten fired. For that. Anybody would have gotten fired. Anybody would have gotten fired. Derek Jackson, Paul Pierce, Lil Uzi Vert. What else Pimp Talk is gonna happen in the early stages of 2021? I'm loving the way that this year is going. We taking the power back, huh, niggas? Fellas, we taking the power back from these bitches, huh? Because we was losing it. We was losing the power, and I think we getting it back. I think Shaq may have skated with a pass to be... Okay, this is a very poignant point. Okay, this is a little different. Let me explain to you the difference between Shaquille O'Neal and Paul Pierce. For anybody that watches sports, you see what I'm saying? I don't have to do this. But let me explain to you how easy it will be to tell you the difference between Paul Pierce and Shaquille O'Neal. For anybody that does not watch sports, what do you know Shaq from? That's all I gotta do. Because I can tell you what a motherfucker knows Paul Pierce from. The Boston Celtics. What do you know Shaq from? About 900 different things. If it's not the movie, it's the video game. If it's not the video game, he got his own comic book. If it's not the comic book, he's on 900 different commercials. If he's not on 900 different commercials, he done won 4 motherfucking NBA championships for 2 different franchises. One of them being a three-peat. Mind you, he's 7 feet tall. Mind you, he's been dated multiple reality stars and has a kid by one of them. The sexual assault scandal. Kobe Bryant. Please don't compare Paul Pierce to Shaq. Okay? Shaq can do what the you ain't finna fire Shaq. There's certain niggas that leave when they want to leave. And he could do what he want to do. He's Shaq. Okay? Shaq ain't basketball. Shaq is bigger than basketball. Just like Snoop Dogg ain't rap. Do you see what I'm saying? Snoop Dogg is everything. Like, Snoop Dogg done been on 9,000 different things. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that have not heard Snoop Dogg songs and love Snoop Dogg and think he should still be famous for what he's famous for. Motherfuckers ain't heard a Snoop Dogg song, love him from Baby Boy. Motherfuckers ain't heard Baby Boy, love him from Martha Stewart. It's different, okay? Shaq and Paul Pierce is 2 different motherfuckers. Shaq got way more leeway than anybody else that's in sports on TV because that nigga is fucking a celebrity. Shaq is gonna have a star on the Walk of Fame very soon. If he doesn't already have one. Shaq is gonna have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. For sure. Without question, he's gonna have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He's been in movies, TV, commercial, everything. So don't mention Shaq. Think of somebody else. Shaq don't count. And also, like, he's 7 feet tall, 290 pounds. Are you finna walk up on Shaq and be like, hey, don't come back? You finna tell Shaq, hey, nigga, you fired for strippers? Shaq will beat you with a stripper. Like, don't play with Shaq. Don't fucking play with Shaq. Paul Pierce couldn't shine Shaq's shoes. And Paul Pierce is a Hall of Famer. But there's levels to this shit. Nigga, King Von is a legend. That's like comparing King Von's legend to like fucking Tupac. Like, you can't do that. You know what I mean? King Von's a legend. Paul Pierce is a legend. But what the fuck? You can't compare it. You can't compare it. Now that I think about it, Shaq has been caught with strippers. No drugs, though. He's definitely been caught with strippers before. A lot. Anybody got a problem with it? Go tell Shaq not to fuck with strippers no more. Paul Pierce would stab Shaq big ass up. That's funny. He gonna have to. You gonna have to stab Shaq. And this Shaq one of them niggas you can't just stab with a small concealable knife. You gotta stab Shaq with like a machete. He is fucking 290,000 pounds. Stabbing him, that shit might not even hurt. You gotta stab him with something long, like big blade. Like you gotta stab this nigga with a sword. You can't just fucking grab no kitchen knife. He ain't gonna feel that shit. He's Shaq. You gotta shoot that fucking elephant. You gotta shoot his ass. You gotta shoot his ass. It's Shaq. He's 7'1". If he kicks you, you're done. That's it. You're done if he kicks you. So with that, man, stop comparing Paul Pierce situation to shit like Dwayne Wade's son or shit like the Megan Thee Stallion Grammy shit, cause y'all watch that shit. You know Paul Pierce got a charge like that or something, don't he? Oh yeah, Paul Pierce did stab a nigga. Him and Ray Lewis. I can't, yeah, you're right. He did stab a nigga. allegedly stabbed somebody. Allegedly. He didn't go to jail or nothing like that. Allegedly stabbed somebody. He probably stabbed a normal sized person though. Stabbing Shaq different. It's Shaq. You can't even just run up on him. He can see over everybody. He knows you're coming. He's gonna kick your ass in the face. But yes, do not shun Paul Pierce. He'll have a job tomorrow. He might already have a job and just ain't reveal it yet. That nigga ain't hurting for a penny. He ain't hurting for a penny. Paul Pierce is fine. But he was supposed to get fired. Definitely supposed to get fired. So don't be mad, okay? Don't be mad. I'm not mad. I'm not mad that he's fired. It's actually hilarious. It's actually probably one of the... Because Paul Pierce was low-key getting a bad rap. Like, he was already getting made fun of because he seemed like a hater on Dwayne Wade and LeBron James, and some of his takes was kind of bad. So Paul Pierce was already kind of falling off a little bit. People was starting to fall out of love with Paul Pierce. Then this come around, he get all the niggas back. Oh yeah, we forgot my dog. You know what I mean? Strippers and we forgot. He just my nigga. Sometimes he probably just high, and that's why he be having the worst fucking takes in sportscaster history. Okay, Paul Pierce and Brandon Marshall are the two worst sportscasters ever. They're fucking horrible. Okay. Paul Pierce's takes are bad. Brandon Marshall's takes are bad. Bad. I'm low-key glad that he's not commentating on sports or broadcasting sports anymore. Because he's bad. His takes aren't good. They're on my nerves all the time. It's Younggodatm, okay? Let's end with that, because that nigga, I'm gonna get upset again. His takes are so fucking bad. It's Younggodatm. I don't put no holes on the strip. Use a smooth talking, swift hand to break down the bitches. The respect that I get, energy, effort is the time that is spent. My time is money, so they're gonna reimburse every cent if that don't make sense. You wasn't listening to Pimp Talk the podcast. How are you guys doing? It is Younggodatm. Thank you for watching a new episode of Pimp Talk the podcast. If you want to join Pimp Talk the podcast family, subscribe to the YouTube link at the bottom right here. Hit the like button and turn your notifications on ASAP. Or if you prefer to listen to Pimp Talk the podcast, follow us on any of our streaming sites: Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Anywhere that you listen to your podcast, you can find Pimp Talk the podcast. Come join us today.